Canto 6. Circle 3. The Gluttons. Synopsis. Dante recovers from his swoon and finds himself in the third circle. A great storm of putrefaction falls incessantly, a mixture of stinking snow and freezing rain, which forms into vile slush underfoot. Everything about this circle suggests a gigantic garbage dump. The souls of the damned lie in the icy paste, swollen and obscene, and Cerberus, the ravenous three-headed dog of hell, stands guard over them, ripping and tearing them with his claws and teeth. These are the gluttons. In life they made no higher use of the gifts of God than to wallow in food and drink, producers of nothing but garbage and offal. Here they lie through all eternity, themselves like garbage, half buried in fetid slush, while Cerberus slobbers over them as they in life slobbered over their food. As the poets pass, one of the speakers sits up and addresses Dante. He is Ciacco, the hog, a citizen of Dante's own Florence. He recognizes Dante and asks eagerly for news of what is happening there. With the foreknowledge of the damned, Cicero then utters the first of the political prophecies that are to become a recurring theme in the Inferno. The poets then move on towards the next circle, at the edge of which they encounter the monster Plutus. Text. My senses had reeled from me out of pity for the sorrow of the kinsmen and lost lovers. Now they return, and walking gradually, I see new torments and new souls in pain about me everywhere. Wherever I turn away from grief, I turn to grief again. I am in the third circle of the torments. Here, to all time, with neither pause nor change, the frozen rains of hell descends in torrents. Huge hailstones, dirty water, and black snow pour from the dismal air to putrefy the putrid slush that waits for them below. Here monstrous Cerberus, the raving beast, howls through his triple throats like a mad dog over the spirit sunk in that foul paste. His eyes are red, his beard is greased with phlegm, his belly is swollen, and his hands are claws to rip the wretches and flay the mangle them. And they too howl like dogs in the freezing storm, turning from it as if they thought one naked side could keep the other warm. When Cerberus discovers what it is that's will, his dragon jaws yawn wide, his lips drew back in a grin of fangs, no limbs of him was still. My guide bent down and seized in either fist a clod of stinking dirt that festered there, and flung them down the gullet of the beast. As a hungry cur will set the echoes raving, and then fall still when he is thrown a bone, all of his clamor being in his craving. So the three ugly heads of Cerberus, whose yowling and those wretches deafened them, choked on the putrid sops and stopped their fuss. We made our way across a sodden mess of souls. The rain beat down, and when our steps fell on a body, they sank through the emptiness. All those illusions of being seemed to lie drowned in the slush, until one wrath among them sat up abruptly and called as I passed by, O ye who are led this journey through the shade of hell abyss, do you recall this face? You had been made before I was unmade. And I, perhaps the pain you suffer here distorts your image from my recollection. I do not know you as you now appear. And he said to me, your own city, so rife with hatred, that the bitter cup flows over, was mine too in that other clearer life. Your citizens nicknamed me Cicero, the hog. Gluttony was my offense, and for it I lie here rotting like a swollen log. Nor am I lost to this alone. All these you see about you in this painful death have wallowed in the same indecencies. I answered him, Cicero, your agony weighs on my heart and calls my soul to tears, but tell me, if you can, what is to be. For this is that divided state, and whether they are honest men among them, and for what reason we are torn by hate. And he then, after my words given and taken, it shall become to blood. White shall rise over black, and rout the dark Lord's force, battered and shaken. Then it shall come to pass within 3 suns that the fallen shall arise, and by the power of one, now grappled by many hesitations. Black shall ride on white for many years, loading it down with burdens and oppressions, and humbling of a proud name and helpless tears. 2 are honest, but none will heed them. Their pride, avarice, and envy are the tongues men know and heed, a babble of despair. Here he broke off his mournful prophecy, and I said to him, Still let me urge you on, to speak a little further and instruct me. Farinata and Tagahayo, men of good blood, Jacopo, Rossini, Arago, Mosca, and others who set their hearts on doing good, where are they now, whose high deeds begem the crown of kings? I lost to know their fate. Does heaven soothe or hell envenom them? And he, they lie below the blacker layer. A heavier guilt draws them to greater pain. If you descend so far, you may see them there. But when you move again among the living, oh, speak my name to the memory of men. Having answered all, I say no more. And giving his head a shake, he looked up at my face, cross-eyed, then bowed his head and fell away among the other blind souls of that place. And my guide to me, he will not wake again until the angel trumpet sound, the day in which the host shall come to judge all men. Then shall each soul before the seat of mercy return its sad grave in flesh and form to hear the edict of eternity. So we picked our slow way among the shades and the filthy rain, speaking of life to come. Master, I said, when the great clarion fades into the voice of thundering omniscience, what of these agonies? Will they be the same, or more or less, after the final sentence? And he said to me, Look into your science again, where it is written, The more a thing is perfect, the more it feels of pleasure and of pain. As for these souls, though they can never soar to true perfection, still in new time they will be nearer it than they were before. And so we walked in the rim of the great ledge, speaking of pain and joy, and of much more than I will not repeat, and reached the edge, where the descent begins. There, suddenly, we came on Plutarchus, the great enemy.